Right, I'm here with Eamon from No Hot Ashes, a band that started in the 1980s and rose from the ashes almost literally to reform. I mean, could you start by telling us about how you started in the 80s?
1980s, we all were teenagers. We all loved melodic rock. We're looking at sort of Thin Lizzy, Foreigner, Journey, that type of thing. And we decided we'd put a band together, and we were reasonably successful. We had a top 10 single in Northern Ireland, and everything was going swimmingly, and then just things petered out. We disbanded 30 years ago, and we have just recently reformed.
Yeah, and your reformation was sort of built around a sort of coming together over something rather more solemn, wasn't it, than a rock event?
Yeah, I mean, there's a big rock bar in Belfast called the Rosetta, and there was a couple of people that would have frequented the bar who unfortunately passed away prematurely through two different types of circumstances. But we decided what we were going to do is we were going to put a gig together to try and raise some funds for specific charities and just raise awareness for the bar and for the old scene, and basically that's what happened. We were asked to reform. Our drummer lives in Los Angeles, so it was going to be a logistical nightmare, so he would fly back and forth.
We just met your drummer, couldn't you have replaced him?
You cannot replace Steve Strange, let me tell you.
No, he does seem irreplaceable.
He is irreplaceable. But no, so we so he was flying back and forward from Los Angeles to rehearse in a shed at the bottom of our bass player's garden. So he would come in, he would rehearse, and fly out that night. So this was pretty. Anyway, we did the gig. It went like a dream. Everything just fell into place. So it went on from there, and we started writing, rehearsing. We ended up on supporting Foreigner. We did Calling, we did Download. We've just done a brilliant tour with Romeo's Daughter and FM, and now we're at Ramblin Man, where you are today, and tomorrow we're doing Steelhouse. So yeah, it's one thing after another.
There aren't many rambling men in Maidstone, but I'm going to go with the title. But let's move on to your single and stuff. You've got a single coming out, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a single. Basically what's happened about maybe 4 years ago, my mum had a stroke, and my dad decided he was going to nurse her at home, against all the medical advice. All doctors were saying no, she should need to go into a nursing home and so on. So my dad has had a massive struggle, and heroically has kept her at home at his side. And I decided to write a song called Boulders, which is basically they push boulders up a mountain, and they've struggled and they've succeeded, and it's for them, to be perfectly honest. Also, it's coming out in about maybe 2 weeks' time. If you can get it, because the proceeds will go on to some stroke charities.
Well, I mean, on that particular note, I do recognise that. I've got a mother-in-law with a stroke, and anyone that cares for people like that, it's really demanding, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, my dad's going to be 80 next year, and he's still caring for my mum. So this is proper heroism. This is somebody taking on something that possibly didn't need to or shouldn't have, but he's done it and he's kept going to the end.
So Boulders, available everywhere?
Yeah, on all
Pretty
sort of
much.
online sites. There will be physical copies and so on. So yeah, get it. It's a good cause. It's actually a brilliant song, believe it or not.
Okay. And I understand that you do a bit of writing. You've written some books, or a book.
Well,
Tell us about
I've
that.
written 3 books, but I mean the one probably we should be talking about is I wrote my autobiography about my life in music, which basically was a celebration of failure because I never made it. But the interesting and wonderful characters that I met throughout my non-career, the stories had to be told. I mean, we were starting to forget them because we were getting old. So I thought I would.
But you can elaborate upon them if you forget them, can't you?
No, it has to be the truth. Has to be the truth. No. In fact, I've got to be honest with you, I had to actually hold back because some of it might have seemed actually unbelievable, but it is. It's true.
Have you got one of those short stories for us now?
Let me think. Yeah, there was. We rehearsed in a house that was owned by the local police sergeant in Hollywood. His son was a friend of ours, and he didn't know that we rehearsed in the house. So we were up in the attic, and he came home early for some reason and went to bed while we were having our break. We started playing a song, and the ceiling fell down on top of him. He thought a bomb had gone off. right?
As you do.
As you do in Belfast. So yeah, that type of thing. You know, it was. Yeah.
Were you
great
covered
stuff.
in plaster?
He was. He was completely covered in plaster. We weren't.
The ceiling fell down in my house strangely recently. I wasn't covered by the insurance, but that's another story. Yeah. So, remind us the title of the book again.
Hollywood Star, 1L for Hollywood, County Down. It's a wee place just outside Belfast. Hollywood Star, yeah.
Coming up then, what are your plans next? What else do you want to tell us?
Well, I mean, we're going to record the album. We've got some gigs coming up. We're supporting a band called the Dead Daisies, or members of Guns N' Roses and things like that. We're playing with them, and we're also going to do some more gigging next year, Hard Rock Hell, AOR, and so on. So we've got a lot going on, and we're trying to hold down our full-time jobs and so on.
Ah, right. So in between that, you're writing melodic rock songs,
Absolutely.
as one does.
Yeah. Why not?
Thank
What
you.
else would you be doing?
Indeed. Thank you very much, Eamon.
Thank you.
Thank you.